Journey to God's House, chapter 32, entitled, I See Loser, Quitter, Dead People. When Brock Talon received his letter of acceptance to Bethel, it stated a minimum time for those who went to Bethel and how long they were expected to stay. Well, he kept his word, and actually he had doubled that minimum time. I don't know what it was back then. I think it may have been 2 or 3 years in the 80s when he was there, but nowadays I think it's just 1 year, I believe. Don't count on my words, but I believe it is 1 year. So he wanted to leave on the anniversary of his arrival and on his own terms. It says that he fought many issues, resisted many temptations, avoided a maze of opportunities to screw up. He suffered heartbreak in many ways while there, and he managed not to get kicked out of Bethel. He even flourished there in some aspects. So because of that, he held his head up high, and he did. But many Jehovah's Witnesses know that if you ever stop doing any form of service in God's organization, it's not usually looked upon favorably. If you ever stop doing something you volunteered to do in the first place, then you're a loser. You're a big fat loser who didn't appreciate spiritual things. And now you're considered a spiritual zero for giving up. The witness formula is this: you plus stop volunteer service equals loser quitter. And you become the subject of many whispers about your shameful trip to Loserville. Leaving Bethel is even worse than stepping down from being an elder, a pioneer, a ministerial servant, circuit overseer. You become a loser quitter of epic proportions to be pitied and shunned. You only have really a few good reasons to leave Bethel to avoid this loser stigma. Reason number 1, somebody in your family died. Like your parents or something, your brothers or sisters, and it was okay to leave Bethel to help out your family. Reason number 2, you got deathly ill. Maybe you got cancer or lost a leg to diabetes, or your eyeballs fell out. Then it was okay to leave Bethel. Number 3, you were married and your wife got pregnant. Children aren't allowed at Bethel. So then it'd be okay to leave because basically you had to. So if you wanted to leave Bethel for any other reason than those 3 things, then you were considered spiritually weak and not really worth so much of a real goodbye. And he would find out the hard way. So some Bethelites who just wanted to leave and didn't have those 3 reasons would make something up so that way they would fall into those 1 of 3 reasons and didn't carry that stigma. But he refused to play that game. He was leaving because he wanted to. He had nothing to be ashamed of. He did not have any reason to lie about the reasons why he wanted to leave. He was holding his head up high. He was doing what he wanted to do. Certainly his friends would accept honesty from him and wouldn't judge him for being truthful about his reasons for leaving in Bethel, right? Wrong. To answer that question, we're going to share the conversation that he mentions in this chapter with a couple that he felt pretty close to. Him, oh boy, oh boy. Her, oh no. Him, yes, we thought we heard that you were leaving, but we didn't believe it. Her, poor thing, we're so sorry. Brock, guys, sorry? Why? Him, well, you're leaving Bethel. Why would you leave here for no reason? Brock, I do have a reason. I'm tired and I want to go home. I did my time. Actually, I doubled it. Her, that time is just to let brothers know they cannot come for a few months and leave. That way they know this is a serious commitment. It isn't meant that when the time has passed that they should leave. Him. We're all tired, brother. This world tires us all out. Now is not the time to give up. Now is the time to persevere diligently in our sacred work. Brock. Look, guys, be happy for me. I've completed my stay here and I did everything I wanted to do. Now, I'd like to go home and just lead a normal life. Him. Normal? What's normal? This is the closest thing you'll be to living in the new system. And you want to return to the outside and work in the world? Her. There is nothing normal about this wicked world, brother. We need to keep close to Jehovah's organization, and this is where we can best do that. Brock. Guys, listen. It's okay, all right? I'm only leaving Bethel. I'm not dying. Him. With disgust. It's the same thing. Conversation over. I'm only leaving Bethel. I'm not dying. It's the same thing? Seriously? Wow. As he mentions, yeah, that did hurt. So he mentioned, do you know what the worst part was? I found out that this wouldn't be all that's unusual. In fact, after years of Bethel service, making many friends, sharing everything with these people, living closely with them, eating every day with them, toiling hard side by side with them, fending off angry people in field service with them, meeting their families and worrying about their problems and their health and so on, yet upon returning home, I would not be able to keep one single friend from that place. Not a single one. And what did Brock do wrong? What was his sin? He just wanted to go home. Good night, folks.